Hello everyone, welcome to an experiential movement tutorial where we will delve into a brief postural scan of the body and talk about our relationship with gravity. Understanding our posture and anatomy is essential for maintaining good posture, preventing injuries, and living a healthy lifestyle. I'll be referencing the book What Every Dancer Needs to Know About the Body, a workbook of body mapping and the Alexander technique, as a reference to guide most of the main points here. When you're ready, come into a standing position with feet about hip distance apart, ideally in a place where you have space to move your body without bumping into anything. First, let's explore something that constantly weighs us down and impacts how we move through this world: gravity. Basic terms that describe our body's relationship with gravity: base of support and center of gravity. Base of support describes every point of contact you have with the floor. Let's play with our base of support. Bring your feet right next to each other and move your head around. How does this impact your balance? Now, stagger your feet and feel how the shift in your base of support increases balance when doing the same head movement. If you have room, experiment with different arrangements of base of support that your body can do, or just fast forward 20 seconds. Next term is center of gravity. This is a hypothetical point where gravitational pull acts the most based off of the position of your body. You can feel this by drawing attention to the bottom of your feet and moving your head forward and backward. The weight of your 12-ish pound head and the upper body moving back and forth is causing a shift in your center of gravity. This is why if you're sitting in a chair and lean forward too far, you can make yourself fall forward. Feel free to move organically and just play with your center of gravity, or just fast forward 20 seconds. The Alexander technique suggests that in standing, your center of gravity should be felt just anterior to your calcaneus or heel. Let's experiment with how our hip placement shifts the center of gravity on our feet. Good hip placement can be seen by a slight forward curve of the lumbar region of your spine. Put your hands on your hip bones. Activate your abs and bring your pelvis into a slightly exaggerated forward tilt without pushing too far. Now bring your pelvis into a posterior pelvic tilt. Notice how this changes the curvature of your lumbar spine. Next, notice how the pelvic shift changes your center of gravity on the bottom of your feet. There are 3 plantar fascial arches that support the biomechanics of the foot. Incorrect placement of center of gravity, like slightly everting your feet due to excessive posterior pelvic tilt, can lead to pathologies of the foot like plantar fasciitis and cause a cascade of imbalances up the body all the way up to the head. Your body is like a Jenga tower. Imbalances from the foundation can compromise the structural integrity of the rest of the body. Due to the constant downward pull of gravity, maintaining a healthy alignment is an important aspect of reducing risk of injury. Let's keep exploring different parts of the body that are important in understanding postural alignment. First, let's draw attention to our spine. There are 4 main curves that weave in and out of the downward gravitational pull. Starting at the top of your spine, use your hands to feel behind your cervical or neck region, then travel downward, noting where the direction of your spine moves and curves anteriorly or posteriorly. An easy way to remember how many vertebrae are in the cervical, thoracic, and lumbar sections is: you eat breakfast at 7, lunch at 12, then dinner at 5. Then there's the sacrum, that's just one fused bone. Lastly, we're going to focus on your noggin, then the neck. Place your hands behind your head and feel for a bump on the lower back of your skull. This is the occipital protuberance. Now run your fingers laterally on the ridge called the superior nuchal line. Lower your fingers to the base of your skull. This is the inferior nuchal line. You can feel deep muscles that assist neck extension contraction as you move your head in small upward movements. Continue this small nodding movement. This movement articulates on a joint called the atlanto-occipital joint. rather than the back of your head where your hands are placed. The superior surface of that joint is the occipital condyles of the skull, and the inferior part is the facets of the atlas, which is the top vertebrae of the spinal column. Cervical flexion, or moving your head down, is caused mainly by very deep muscles on the anterior aspect of the neck that we can't palpate because they're behind our trachea. You can, however, feel the hyoid bone, which is located just above the Adam's apple, and is the only suspended bone in the whole body. Muscles attached to the hyoid assist the suspension of the front of your neck. Because the head is so heavy, neck muscles can easily overcontract and cause neck pain. The Alexander technique suggests, instead of trying to correct the placement of your neck posture, to think about freeing the neck muscles. Take a second and notice what it feels like to free the neck muscles. Alright, thank you for participating in this activity with me. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a couple things.